America, with an area of 3.70 million square miles and a population of 350 million, is the third largest country in the world. There are so many things that differentiate America from other countries. For example, from the way they dress daily, food, national days, language, and even economies are also different. From US, we can see their system liberalism, that they put a point in universal than anything, or we can say freedom for each other. So, from here, we can conclude that US is more to universalist than particularism because of their system and from their habit that stuck on rule. So, they more care in rule than relationship, so that the key point to say that US is universalist concept. As we know from their system again, that is liberalism concept is fighting for human freedom, so their focus from individualist than communitarianism. Also, in the US there is more award for individualist than group one. So we can conclude that in US they more individualist than communitarianism. Because in US there is a lot of human race. They aim for no one from back then. Specific. In American culture, their people separate their personal life and work. They rarely socialize and involve with others' personal life to keep the relation professional. Usually, they communicate with others with a clear purpose. This culture, respecting others' privacy, is a part of manners. Neutral. In American culture, most of their people tend to show and express their emotion well. They prefer keep it to themselves rather than showing it to others. Although they keep it, but they are kept in check and controlled. The United States is the world's largest importer and the second largest exporter of goods. Even though its population is only 4.3% of the world total, it holds 29.4% of the world total wealth. America is the largest economy in the world. Its nominal gross domestic product was recorded at $50.8 trillion in 2012, which is a quarter of the world nominal GDP. The world of the music and film industry is no less interesting than other countries because most films from America get good awards by country in the world. Geography of the US affects time. Industrialization is based on production which is measured in unit of time. Example, Fordism and Taylorism. Bonuses and pay are calculated in relationship to time. God gave us life to see if we would be faithful and if we would take advantage of the time given to us on earth. A nation of immigrants, many came to this country with the idea of building a better life for themselves. One can realize their dreams here. We can master things. Example, Master of Business Administration. The legal and political system is highly confrontational. The best defense is a strong offense. Low power distance. Americans got score 40, which is below average. Power distance is defined as the extent to which the less powerful members of institution and organization. With it, a country expect and accept that power is distributed uniquely. It has to do with the fact that a society uniquely is endorsed by the followers as much as by the leaders. The value of individualism in America encourages people to think of their own life above others, because each of them believes that they are in a competitive society, so that they must race to get success. Masculinity. The score of the US on masculinity is high at 62, and This can be explained by the combination of a high masculinity drive together with the most individualist drive in the world. In other words, Americans, so to speak, all show their masculine drive individually. Low uncertainty avoidance. The US scores below average with a score of 46. Americans tend to be more tolerant of ideas or opinions from anyone and allow freedom of expression. At the same time, Americans do not require a lot of rules and are less emotionally expressive than higher scoring cultures. Long-term orientation. Americans only score 26. Most of Americans usually analyze new information first, whether it is true or not. Americans are very practical. Americans have very strong ideas about what is good and bad. This may concern issues such as abortion, use of drugs, euthanasia, weapons, or the size and rights of the government versus the states and versus citizens. This dimension is defined as the extent to which people try to control their desires and impulse, based on the way they were raised. A tendency toward a relatively weak control over their impulse is called indulgence, where a relatively strong control over their urges is called restraint. The US scores as an indulgent society on the sixth dimension. This, in combination with a normative score, is reflected by the following contradictory attitudes and behavior. Work hard and play hard. The state has waged a war against drug and it is still very busy in doing so, yet drug addiction instead is higher than in many other wealthy countries. It is a proudy society, yet even some well-known televangelists appear to be immoral.